You're just going to have me be silent from now on is what's going to have to happen because you're scaring me. I'm scared. Welcome to episode 10. Nice. That sounds better. I like that better anyway.
It flows.
It does. It's much better. With that, as we're talking about Blake Lively, because... God, she's so fine. Apparently, she's getting in trouble, though. Like, people are saying she's a dick or something. I don't know.
She could be. Which is weird, because being with Ryan Reynolds, I feel like it'd be hard to be a dick. Because he's such a... Unless he's a dick behind scenes, but I just don't really see that.
Oh, I could see that for sure. The way he fucks around with people. Like, he seems like that guy that's always fucking with you, and you're like, are you serious? Are you not serious?
I can't tell if you're fucking with me or not.
Like, are you fucking with me? Like, he's probably always fucking with you. But no. One lucky man with Blake. We're not talking about Blake Lively today, though.
We're not.
Are we? We are talking about a not as attractive celebrity.
That goes by the name of Carlos Irwin Estevez.
You may know Carlos Irwin Estevez better as Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen has got a weenie that he loves to show.
What? No, he's he is an American actor. Leading man in a lot of film and television over the years. He's got like a 50-year career, dude. He is part of a long line of Estevez/Sheens. Golden Globe Award nominations. He's got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But that's not why we're really talking about him, to be completely honest. We chose Charlie Sheen for this podcast today because there was a time, many moons ago, where Charlie Estevez Sheen was fucking crazy as shit. He still is, but there was a time where he just soaked up the media, dude. So yeah, let's dive in. What do you know about Charlie Sheen before we dive in?
I don't know, like, a lot of his personal life details. I know he's got. I know the most common thing I hear people talking about is he has an STD, right? Is it AIDS?
That's one of them. I'm sure he said many.
What are the many? I know he cracks jokes about it too. I know he's not afraid to crack jokes about it.
Yeah, I think at this point, I mean,
but I
know
to
laugh with everyone.
But yeah, I don't know. He starred in a lot of my one of my favorite movies, which is Scary Movie 2.
That's
Scary Movie 3.
Movies?
That's one of my favorite ones. It's pretty funny.
Of all time?
Not of all time, but one of my probably top 10.
Of all time?
Yeah.
Scary Movie 3.
Scary Movie 3. Dude, that's a great ass.
Of all time?
Of all time.
Okay. I mean, just comedies or just all?
All comedies. Sorry. Comedies.
Okay.
Not all of that shit. You can't, not of all movies,
oh my
but
God damn, there are a lot of good movies. Scary Movie 3 is.
I think the first 3 Scary Movies are probably in my at least top 15.
Okay. I mean, they're funny as hell, so.
But he portrays a very good character in Scary Movie 3.
He is funny. I remember he was funny in that.
Just because there's so much going around, he's just so, like, dumbfounded. You know what I mean? Just more like
kind of a satire. Yeah,
he's just not making a big deal of all the crazy shit that's going around.
That's because he's like, this ain't crazy, dude. Have you seen my real life, dude? I'm fucking wild, dude.
But yeah, that's that's pretty much it. And then of course, 2.5 Men.
Yeah, a lot of people will know him from 2.5 Men.
But that's pretty much kind of. What's that? Oh God, I'm gonna hate myself for this one. The baseball one. The movie about the Cleveland Indians at the time. I know it's the Guardians now. He was the Wild Thing.
I have never seen that.
You've never seen that movie?
I don't know what you're talking about,
dude. It's a good movie.
I'm not gonna pretend I'm a Charlie Sheen expert, but
yeah,
I do know that like he took the zeitgeist in like 2011 for a little bit of time there.
He took what?
The zeitgeist, like, what is, like, I don't fucking know that. Like, everyone was talking about him. So, let's start from the beginning with Charlie Sheen, like we do everybody.
Yeah.
September 3rd, 1965, born in New York City. He's a New York boy through and through, and his daddy is Martin Sheen, whose real name is Ramon Estevez. I don't know if it's done like that. And his mom is Janet Templeton. She's an artist. I guess. I don't know anything about her. But his dad's Catholic, his mom's Southern Baptist, so, when they get together, it gets wild. Two older brothers, Emilio, as you might know him as Emilio Estevez.
Emilio!
Yep, he's in what he plays in like The Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, a ton of fucking Mighty Ducks movies. Have you ever seen the Mighty Ducks, dude? I don't see much of him really anymore. I don't think he's been in much. But he is his older brother, as well as Ramon Estevez, who is the actor in a bunch of random shit nobody's ever seen. Didn't even know he had him. And a younger sister, Renee Estevez, who is an actress and scriptwriter, I guess. Also in a bunch of shit nobody's ever seen. So, don't need to worry about them. They moved to Malibu, California after Martin Sheen's Broadway run in The Subject Was Roses. Sheen's first movie appearance was at age 9 in his dad's film called The Execution of Private Slovik in 1974. So, he attended Santa Monica High School along with Robert Downey Jr., where he was a star pitcher and shortstop for the baseball team. So he actually is really good at baseball. So maybe that's on to something that you were talking about there. So
Yeah, that movie, I was just looking it up. It's called The Rookie. And I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't.
Is that the one with the little kid?
No, that's Angels
Rookie
in the
of the
Outfield.
Year.
Oh, Rookie of the Year. Oh, yeah. The
That's
kid
the
where
one.
he gets the surgery.
Yeah, he gets surgery and becomes a badass.
That's Rookie of the Year.
pitcher.
Yeah, no, this is The Rookie. That's a movie about the owners trying to sell the Indians because they're just complete shit. And she tries to make the team even more shit. But she ends up hiring a manager, like just a good group of...
I may have seen, like,
and they end up
clips
coming
of that.
back and, like, I can't remember. I know people are going to hate me for fucking this up, but I think they go back and, like, win, like, the world championship. And then
Spoiler
it
alert?
makes... Yeah, sorry.
Damn.
Sorry if you haven't seen a movie that came out in 1990.
Yeah, I guess it's a little late for that. So he showed an early interest in acting, though. He made Super 8 films with his brother Emilio, and his friends in school, who you may know as from acting, is Rob Lowe and Sean Penn.
That makes sense.
And then a week before he was scheduled to graduate, he was expelled for poor grades and attendance. So he chose to become an actor, and he adopted the stage name Charlie Sheen. His dad had already adopted Sheen in honor of a Catholic bishop named Fulton Sheen. So Charlie was an English form of Carlos, so he went with Charlie Sheen. Get rid of, I guess, any type of culture that someone could mistake him for. Jesus, dude. His career really begins in 1983 when he was cast to portray Ron in Grizzly 2, The Predator, sequel to the 1976 low-budget horror movie Grizzly, which wasn't even released until 2020. So Grizzly 2, I think, came out before Grizzly 1. So I would have been fucking confused as hell. Martin Sheen, or not Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen was in this movie, and I don't know if he had a big role or not. It doesn't look like he did, but that was his first one. Looking at the cast of it, like Steve Inwood, John Rhys Davies was in it, George Clooney as a young man's in it, as well as Laura Dern. So a lot of random people in that one. But he didn't really get noticed until 1984 when he had a role in the Cold War teen drama Red Dawn. Have you ever seen that one?
I haven't.
So Red Dawn's a good movie. That's a great movie. It's got Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, Leah Thompson. It's like about a bunch of North Koreans that come take over some western town and like capture a bunch of people, and then it's like a young insurgency of like young men just fucking beat the shit out of these. Maybe it's North Koreans in the new one. It's Russians in the old one, of course, because it's Cold War.
Yep.
They beat the shit out of these Russians. Dude, it's so cool. Like, God. I think Chris Hemsworth's in the new one. And then Sheen reunited with Jennifer Grey in a small scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off in 1986.
I was just thinking that. I saw that. I was seeing that as I'm reading it, and I was like, when the hell is he in Ferris Bueller's
I can't
Day
think of
Off?
this part that he's
Neither
in.
can I.
But he is it. I think he's in the part where she's in an office building or something talking to someone. He's sitting there like cracked out of his mind or something.
Really?
Because she's the sister of Ferris Bueller, I think.
Okay.
And I think like she starts talking to him, and I think he's like coked out or something. I just saw that for the first time not too many years ago. Then he played an episode of an anthology series called Amazing Stories. Don't know anything about that. And then his first major role was in the Vietnam War drama Platoon in 1986.
Never seen that either.
Platoon is a badass movie. God, I gotta see that. That's his dad's in it with him as well. Like, tell me how you feel about this cast. I don't know how well you are with actors, but tell me. Tom Berenger, Willem Dafoe, Charlie Sheen, Keith David, Kevin Dillon, Forrest Whitaker, Johnny Depp. Dude. You don't know
I feel like
half of them.
I know most of those
Oh, do
guys.
you?
Yeah. So when you're reading it off, I don't know why my brain flipped to that, but it kind of, because you're like, it's a war movie and blah blah blah, and then you start naming off all the celebrities, and then in my brain, Tropic Thunder started to pop into my brain. Because it's another military.
Yeah.
Granted, that's more comedy based, which I don't
Platoon
know.
is not a comedy.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of what I was getting. It's like a big popular military movie. Granted, it's about actors shooting, a movie about military.
Yeah, probably.
But that's what was popping in my head. I know. Sorry, squirrel thought moment.
But yeah, actually, I don't see Martin Sheen's. I'm fucking a liar. Martin Sheen's not in that one. It looks like so. Fuck me. 1987 though, he did star with Martin Sheen in Wall Street, which is a movie about greed. If you've ever heard about like the yuppies of the 80s, I know American Psycho kind of talks about like the people that are like, oh, I'm gonna make tons of money on Wall Street. Yes. And that's also not his dad. God damn it. That is fucking Michael Douglas. Why do you look so much like Martin Sheen? God damn you, dude. I just was like, nah, is that really Martin Sheen? No, it's fucking Michael Douglas. God fucking damn it. He plays the role of Bud Fox, a young, ambitious stockbroker. Both were directed by Oliver Stone. And in 1988, Stone asked Sheen to star in his new film afterwards called Born on the 4th of July, which, if you've ever seen, it's an epic, like, anti-war drama film.
Okay.
Unfortunately for him, they later cast Tom Cruise instead. So he was taken out. Yeah, you can't beat Tom Cruise. You live or you die.
Is that in the prime for Tom Cruise, though? Was that a prime?
That's when
time?
he was pretty popular. He had done a few movies. I don't know if it was his
that's the
prime.
one thing that's going to kill me is, like, until we kind of get further into, like, the 90s, 2000s, I'm going to be kind of clueless.
Yeah, I figured as much, because not saying you aren't good with, like, old movies, but you're not good with old movies.
I'm not good with old movies, and that's just the truth.
So he didn't even know he was fired from that movie. He was actually notified by his brother that, hey, man, you've been replaced on that movie.
Oh, dude.
So he was like, fuck you, Oliver Stone. I'm done with it. Even though he did have a cameo in Money Never Sleeps, he didn't really come back to him. In 1988, though, he did star in a baseball film called 8 Men Out as an outfielder, Happy Felsch. Have you ever seen that one? Because I don't know what that one is.
No,
either.
that
It's
one
a
sounds like
sports
something
drama.
that would draw me in, though, to see, though. Like, I would definitely be interested.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. I'm trying to see who else is in this one. It looks like John Cusack. I do like him. Michael Rooker, before he was really popular. Christopher Lloyd, someone else you might know from that one. And in 88, he also appeared opposite his brother, so he played with him in the movie Young Guns, which is a Western. I remember seeing this VHS as a kid, and I've never seen this one either. So, I mean, if you have Lou Diamond Phillips in your movie, I'm probably not watching it. Like, let's be real here. But Kiefer Sutherland's in it, so we got a lot of those 80s type of people in that one. And then in 1990, he worked with his brother, I believe, again, in a movie called Men at Work. So it looks like he was in a lot of these, like, early 90s, late 80s movies when he was kind of really getting
It seems like
roles.
it's takeoff, yeah, because he's in multiple movies for, like, like, consecutively.
And so it kind of seems kind of like nepotism because he's playing a lot with his brothers and his dad because he does finally play with his dad for real this time, guys, in the movie Cadence. And I made sure it's not fucking Michael Douglas. It's Martin Sheen, and it's a historical prison film directed by his dad as well. So I'm pretty sure it's them. And Larry Fishburne's in it. And his other brother, the one that no one fucking knows or cares about, Ramon Estevez is in it too, I guess. But he's like really low.
Seems like the Estevezes were
Yeah, it seems like
running Hollywood.
Yeah, like, hey, I'll take this movie if you put one of my many kids in it. Not Ramon. Fuck Ramon.
Don't put Ramon. Sorry, Ramon.
And then he also played in the Clint Eastwood buddy cop film called The Rookie, which I thought you said was baseball.
See,
so
that's
now
weird.
I'm losing trust in you.
You are losing
that's a
trust
buddy
in me.
cop action thriller with Clint Eastwood and Laura Flynn Boyle. So I can't imagine Clint Eastwood really would have liked Charlie Sheen. I can't imagine that's like a good pairing up.
Yeah, I feel like their egos would kind of.
Well, Clint is probably like a little fucking pussy.
Little.
You know, like, I
You
just
can't
can't.
because Daddy let you.
Yeah, Daddy's gonna let you get in here. So he then appeared in something called Beyond the Law, which never heard about that one. It looks like a shit movie. Michael Madsen's in it. It's a crime drama. Here's the synopsis. It tells the story of Dan Saxon, an undercover cop who infiltrates a group of criminal outlaw bikers behind a drug smuggling, armed dealing operation. In order to maintain their trust, he must commit ever more dangerous and heinous crimes and must question how far he can go beyond the law.
Huh.
Yeah, I'd watch it. I talked myself into it.
In that same year, though, he did The Three Musketeers.
Did he?
Yeah.
The Three Musketeers. I've never seen an adaptation of that movie that was good.
I've seen one with Steve Martin in it.
That's The Three Amigos.
Is that The Three Amigos?
And that's fucking amazing.
That's an amazing movie. That's what
Chevy
I'm thinking
Chase.
of. It is, yeah.
Steve Martin and Martin
movie.
Short.
So Three Musketeers is a 93 action adventure through Walt Disney and Caravan. So it looks like he was in that movie with Kiefer Sutherland, Chris O'Donnell.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Oliver Platt and Tim Curry.
Okay. Tim Curry, can't go wrong there.
There's some. It seems like this is like a solid era for a lot of popular actors at that time. So it seems like he's starting to get more prominent roles.
He must have, because he got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in '94. So I mean, those don't really mean much because apparently you have to buy them, for yourself.
Really?
Yeah, apparently it's not that cool. You have to be offered, I think, the star, but you have to buy it. If you don't buy it, you don't get your star.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. But hey, right there in '94 it's Major League 2. That's that.
Major League. You were right though. He does play in The Rookie. It's just nothing like what you said.
It's not. It's Major League '94, based at a 1989, or it's a sequel to the Major League that was filmed in 1989. So it's got him, Tom Berenger, and Corbin Burnson, Wesley Snipes. But that was probably...
He's in the first one, too.
He is in the first one?
Yeah. It's a sports comedy. I've just looked it up. He's in the first one with Tom Berenger, too.
Yep. It is all them, too. Wesley Snipes, James. So I guess maybe I have seen Major League. Maybe now I'm spacing on Major League 2. So that's weird that I didn't see that listed. Did I just look over that?
He's not in the third one, though. Major League Back to the Minors.
Nope.
Apparently it fell off after Major League 2.
So yeah, but he did play the Wild Thing, and that what I'm saying is that is a really great. He just does a great job in that movie.
Okay, nice.
That's one of the ones that got me hooked on Charlie Sheen. I was like that kind of helped me understand who he was.
Okay, he did write his first movie, which was a direct-to-video documentary revolving around the question, "Is there life on Mars?" called Discovery Mars. And then he wrote, produced, and starred in another movie called No Code of Conduct. So if you haven't heard these films, it's because no one has. Not the one was directed by goddamn Bret Michaels of Poison. That No Code of Conduct. He's known for directing great movies. So I don't know if he made the right decisions in some places. He also did, like you said, the Major League films. The Money Talks is a movie with Chris Tucker. So honestly, I would like to see that one just because Chris Tucker. I love Chris Tucker. He's funny as hell. But I mean, if you've ever seen the Rush Hour series, you'll know why. And then he also did the Hot Shots films, which I know people know that one. That is a comedy film from the director and co-writer of Airplane.
Okay.
It's got Cary Elwes, Lloyd Bridges, John Cryer, who would end up playing with him in a TV show we know later, and many others. It's like a parody of Top Gun. So if you've ever seen Top Gun, it makes fun of that. Hot Shots, I think Hot Shots Part 2. If you've ever heard that one. I've never seen either one of them. I've been offered many times to see them, and I'm just I don't know if I'm going to watch that. But I've never seen those. He also played in Being John Malkovich. He did some animation roles, which you might know, he played in All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 with Burt Reynolds. I've seen it. I don't know what part he played. I guess I didn't pay that much attention. I think he's probably the main dog.
I would assume so. At that point in time, I don't see him playing a backup role even for.
No, I think he's the main
animated
role.
Series, yeah.
But eventually, by 2000, he debuts on small screen when he replaces Michael J. Fox, who, as we know, had some issues with Parkinson's. He's still around. For the sitcom Spin City. So if you haven't seen Spin City, it was a quite funny show, honestly. It went from like 96 to 2002, but it's like set in a fictionalized version of like a mayor's office in New York.
Okay.
So it's pretty funny. And then he was nominated for like Alma Awards for that. Won his first Golden Globe for that. Series ended in 2002, so he was able to move on from that pretty quick. And he appeared, like you said, in Scary Movie 3,
as
Scary
Tom
Movie
Logan,
4,
yes.
and Scary Movie 5.
See, I guess I've seen 4. I don't think I've ever seen Scary Movie 5. I didn't know they made a Scary Movie 5.
They did, yeah. It came out in 2013. So a lot later than the other ones. It was, from the looks of it, not really a bust, but it wasn't great. Pretty negative reviews all the way.
Well, because after the third one, they started making like the
Scary Movie 4 was not good.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
I remember like listening to it or watching it, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But
don't worry, because right around that time frame in 2003, after the Spin City?
Yep.
He goes right into his own sitcom.
Yes, Charlie Harper in 2.5 Men, which followed Everybody Loves Raymond, so it was a pretty popular time slot, kind of based on his bad boy image that he already had, which we'll get to in a little bit, but it garnered him another Alma Award and gained 3 Emmys. By the end of it, he was making like $1.8 million an episode, so...
Yeah. It's a good TV.
It is hilarious.
Such a good TV
like
series.
It really is.
And I feel like that for me, that's like most of the Charlie Sheen that I've ever like just endured. You know what I mean? Like that's the Charlie Sheen is the 2.5 Men.
Yeah, and he's in it with Angus T. Jones as the kid and John Cryer as the other man, and they all like live together. His uptight brother and then the son. In it, his brother's like marriage falls apart and divorce is like imminent, and then he has to move into his beachfront like Malibu house and make his freewheeling life complicated.
Yeah.
So, pretty fun to watch. The problem is during the whole like breakdown of Charlie Sheen was during this time frame. So it went on hiatus in January 2011. So like getting into the thick of it. Sheen had to do a substance rehabilitation program in his home, his third attempt at rehab in like a whole year. So, if you don't know this about Charlie Sheen, the dude loves drugs.
He
loves
drugs.
Love drugs, dude.
He's a Sheen.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to have that type of, like, bullshit sent against Martin. I love Martin. He's from the West Wing, and I fucking love him. He's my president. Jed Bartlett, 24. The following month, CBS actually canceled the season's 4 remaining episodes after he started making some offensive comments about the creator of the series, Chuck Lorre. Now, if you don't know Chuck Lorre, then you haven't been paying attention to some of the best sitcoms over the years. He made Sybil, Dharma and Greg, 2.5 Men, The Big Bang Theory, Mom, Young Sheldon. This is all his creation.
Dude, I love Young Sheldon.
That's what I hear. People love it.
I love that show.
And he's also, I believe he's the one where he actually made the theme song to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like the cartoon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that was his.
Really?
Yeah, weird fact. I don't know if it's 100% true, so look that up, guys. I'm not going to say it's 100, but I'm pretty damn sure. They terminated his contract afterwards because they banned him from entering the production lot, so they had to. He was already the highest paid actor on television, but he wanted a 50% raise. Like, dude, they're just like, dude, give me more.
I mean, he did, in his defense, he did make that show.
Well, he said the show was like...
That's his show.
Making a ton of money, and he's underpaid, is how he felt. So they just terminated him. They're like, all right, well, fuck you. And they replaced him by another actor named Ashton Kutcher.
Who everybody knows and loves.
I do like Ashton Kutcher. He did his best with the show, I think, but it wasn't the same.
It wasn't. I stopped, to be honest with you. I watched like a couple episodes because that was one of the ones I was binge watching, and then kind of that happened, and I was like,
Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense after a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he continued to feud with Chuck Lorre. And this is about when we get to the Tiger Blood era, is what I like to call it. He filed a wrongful termination lawsuit against him and Warner Brothers. They settled eventually, but at the same month, he was presenting an award for a Primetime Emmy, and he addressed, in quote, everybody here from 2.5 Men From the bottom of my heart, I wish you nothing but the best for this upcoming season. We spent 8 wonderful years together. I know you will continue to make television great. End quote. In 2012, he returned to television in a different series called Anger Management, which was based on the Adam Sandler, Jack Nicholson movie.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it was.
I kind of want to look into that now.
It ended after a 100-episode run in the second season. So, I don't know.
That's solid. 2 years, 100 episodes in 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years of 100. Dude,
Dang.
that's fucking like 50 episode. Apparently, his brother Ramon was in it. So, apparently, Ramon, I've been giving you a lot of shit, but you're in stuff. Second goddamn thing I've seen. I'm just getting proven wrong constantly in this one. So, in the wake of the dismissal, Sheen had a meltdown. It was a meltdown. Let's call it that. 2011 was the year of Sheen. It was broadcast all over TV and the internet because the internet was kind of developing even higher at that point.
Yeah.
He suggested that he was a warlock. So, I don't know of any magic. He suggested he had tiger blood, which is why I call it the tiger blood era. And he had Adonis DNA. So, that's kind of his thing, like Adonis DNA. He thought he was just the greatest thing on the world and that he was winning at life. So he honestly, man, he's Donald Trump before Donald Trump. Like I think that's where he got his campaign stuff from. He posted videos to YouTube showing him smoking cigarettes through his nose, cursing out his former employers. He even told one TV interviewer, end quote, "I'm tired of pretending I'm not special. I'm tired of pretending I'm not a total bitch and rock star from Mars." End quote. So, the fuck is going on?
What's funny is you said that he reminds you of Trump before he was Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm actually reading something right now that says that he cannot stand Donald Trump.
Oh, really? They're just like.
That's so funny.
That's weird because they kind of remind me of each other.
And that's probably why he thinks like that.
Yeah, it might be. After being accused of anti-Semitism in 2011, he claimed that his mother was Jewish. His mother's not Jewish. That doesn't even make sense. The reporter for the Jewish Standard wrote that he found no evidence to support it and described him as exceedingly unlikely that his mother was Jewish. He then later that year said his mother was actually Southern Baptist, so I don't know.
Just saying whatever the hell he wants, dude.
So, yeah, he eventually gets roasted on Comedy Central. I don't know if you ever seen the Charlie Sheen roast.
I've never seen the roast.
Oh, 6.4 million people did. It was the highest rated roast to date on Comedy Central. And that year he played a role in the hip-hop music video as well called Steak and Mashed Potatoes by Chain Swangas featuring Brother Marquise. The video features both rappers as fast food employees who create havoc while their boss, Charlie Sheen, is gone. So he starts doing weird shit, dude. Like, that's really not, like, where you would think he would go with his career. But I remember he was even... There was a video online, I remember, around the time frame, because I was in my early 20s, and it was, like, him and two hot ladies. And he was like, "These are my, like, wives or something, and, like, we just have sex all the time," or something like that. I'm like, the fuck is going on with this dude? And so he was eventually cast in a movie. Someone actually took a chance and cast him in something called A Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III. Never saw it. It was like a comedy film. Bill Murray's in it, but
really,
yeah, never even heard of the fucking movie, but it's a Roman Coppola film, so it's probably a nepotism film. Same year, he voiced Dex Dog Detective in the animated movie Food Fight. Have you ever seen that?
Nope.
That's like a direct-to-DVD animated adventure that no one watched. Oh, look, it also has Wayne Brady in it. So, yeah, no one watched that. Hilary Duff, Eva Longoria, like a who's who of, like, C-list celebrities.
Especially in that time frame for animated movies.
So then he decides to, like, he wants to win awards. So he gets into the 2013 film Machete Kills. Which isn't going to win him awards, but he played the president in it, and he was fucking hilarious. He was even credited as his birth name of Carlos Estevez because he wanted to be Hispanic in it. It was a one-time move because it was a Hispanic-themed movie, of course, and he wanted to use his birth name. And then his next feature was an ensemble film called 9/11, which is an action drama film. I don't know how Charlie Sheen did that or how to take that because Whoopi Goldberg's in it. So once again, he's not. It's hard to say about Whoopi because Whoopi's actually won an Academy Award, but like at this time, this ain't Whoopi. That's like.
But she's also one of those actors that's like legit her own actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
she does her own.
She runs her part. Like,
yeah,
I like. Shout out to Whoopi.
It's like I love Whoopi.
I love Whoopi.
Then he flew to Australia for his An Evening with Charlie Sheen tour in 2018 and filmed an advert for a car servicing company called UltraTune, which was his next installment in their controversial Unexpected Situation series. No idea what that is because it's Australian and I have no fucking idea about that. But that's kind of where his career went with that. That being said, he's done other ventures too. Like, he has a clothing line for children he launched in 2006 called Sheen Kids. I don't know if I want my kids wearing shit from Charlie Sheen. He set the Guinness World Record in 2011 for fastest time to reach 1 million followers on Twitter. I wonder why, because he's going fucking nuts. And also, he set the Guinness record for highest paid TV actor per episode for 2.5 Men. And, I mean, he announced a nationwide tour called My Violent Torpedo of Truth / Defeat is Not an Option, which began in Detroit. I remember that tour. He was just walking around talking shit about people.
That was it?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I took out of it. There are over 1,000 tickets available from a third-party reseller, like I remember, and some are like 15% cheaper for the Fox Theater that night. No, like I don't know if people actually went to that. They expected like $1 million to be earned from Twitter endorsements and $7 million from North American tour. But a lot of them found it disappointing. Like what? He's just gonna sit there and bitch? Like,
I mean, I guess if some people are into that, though, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, I know.
It's weird what people are actually into. Like, you can find a solid fan base or gathering of supporters with the craziest of things. You know what I mean? Like, people will support you for pretty much anything, especially in a world nowadays. Like, I think, what is that, like almost 10 years or 15 years ago?
It's almost 15 now. Yeah, it's a long time.
You know what I mean? So now it's probably, he could probably do that shit now.
Oh, he missed his mark, dude. He should have been here for the TikTok period, dude. Oh, Charlie Sheen in his prime. Like,
yeah.
Tiger Blood in the TikTok
period. Oh, yeah, dude.
You missed out, man.
Sorry,
Too
Charlie.
early.
Sorry, Charlie.
You're the innovator that we never knew we needed. He wasn't done, though. He announced he was the face of and partner in a new line of disposable e-cigarettes before they got big called Nicotine.
Nicotine.
Dude. Now that, I'd fuck with that as a kid. Like, I would have been like, dude, Nicotine? That's sweet as shit.
Every drop contains a little bit of Charlie Sheen blood.
Dude, like, just a little bit of my blood. You don't want that, I promise you.
You don't want that.
Because of AIDS. But
this is something interesting, though. I see that in 2011. Damn, so 2011 really was his year, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude, it was just the year of the Sheen.
He hosted the 12th annual gathering of the Juggalos?
Yeah, dude. Teams up with Insane Clown Posse. Describes himself as a juggalo, wears a baseball cap featuring the Psychopathic Records logo.
Oh, my God.
Like, dude, yeah, he becomes a certified juggalo, man. Which, if anyone knows me, and God damn it, I'm gonna get death threats or something.
Let's hear it.
I fucking hate juggalo culture. I hate it.
Why? You don't understand it.
Because it reminds me of my hometown, where there were certain people that would walk around with, like 2 liters of pop and like cigarettes, and that's all they cared about. Like that was their culture. Like, but they want face mask and sweaty white dudes that sit in a tin can trailer. Like, that's what it comes off as.
Drinking Faygo.
Yeah, it's Faygo. Yeah, for sure. You ain't buying that expensive shits here. That or RC Cola. So, but yeah. So apparently he's a juggalo. Did not know that.
I didn't. That's surprising. That's what caught my attention right there. And I was like, that's pretty fucking crazy. That's unique. But I guess when you're fucking going off the fucking hinge, you know, like. Yeah.
I mean, take whoever will take you. ICP is considered legends in their juggalo field, I guess. So. Yeah.
There's people that idolize ICP.
Do they?
And they do
cool culture.
Yeah. Like, there's
you
people...
loved ICP as a kid, didn't you?
No, I mean, I didn't love ICP. I actually didn't really get into ICP. Like, Jake always used to try to show me or get me into ICP, but my wife's really into ICP.
Is she really?
Yeah, she really is. So
Dude, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
She's from
that's where I
Allegheny,
learned.
right?
That's where I learned most of my songs.
Chicken
and
pot pie. You'd always try to get me to listen.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah,
Dude,
chicken hunting.
Dude, ridiculous. So familial relationship, personal life stuff. He was married 3 times. He has 5 kids, 1 grandkid already. His oldest daughter is from his first high school girlfriend, and through their daughter, they have 1 granddaughter named Luna. And then his fiance, he was married, he was engaged to Kelly Preston. If you don't know who Kelly Preston is, she passed away a few years ago, but she was probably most famous for like Twins, Jerry Maguire. What other movies did she play in? I can't think of any off the top of my head. But
The Cat in the Hat, dude. What are you talking about?
dude, The Cat in the Hat. No, get the fuck out of here with that shit. That movie was garbage.
Dude, you're funny.
Dude, everything connected to Charlie Sheen's garbage, it seems. Sorry, Charlie. So in January of 1990, moving on, his fiancée Kelly was hit by shrapnel after a gun went off in their house. So she broke off the engagement afterwards. So I'm assuming he probably fired a fucking gun at Kelly. And in the 90s,
she was just a piece of shrapnel.
yeah, just the shrapnel. He dated tons of porn actresses. So Ginger Lynn, Heather Hunter, these are all people that he dated.
I feel like the tone of your voice is like saying it like it's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Shout out to you, Charlie boy.
Way to get it, Charlie. So I mean, good for you, Charlie. You're dating fucking Double H and fucking old Gingy L. So he did eventually marry his first wife in '95, and it was that same year he was named one of the clients of an escort agency operated by Heidi Fleiss. If you don't know who Heidi Fleiss is, that's a whole nother story we'll have to get into someday. Because honestly, her life story is fantastically like entertaining.
Really?
It really is. Yeah, it's crazy. But she ran an escort agency for all these like famous people in Hollywood. So he was on the list. Surprise. He divorced his wife. Surprise. And then he met actress Denise Richards on the set of the movie Good Advice. Denise Richards, if you haven't seen her, is gorgeous for her time, I thought. She was a Bond girl. She has played in Starship Troopers. I know you've seen that one.
I haven't.
No?
I've never seen Starship Troopers.
Dude.
But, you know, I'm looking at a picture of her.
Yeah.
And then right underneath her picture, I see Scary Movie 3.
She's the wife in Scary Movie 3 and that's trapped by the car. Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, I don't remember seeing her. That is 100% her, dude.
Yep.
That is so
She guest starred on his Spin City show. They became engaged in 2001, married in 2002.
See, that's crazy. That's working with the whole working with the wife. Looked like she was like, you're doing all your movies with me, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, you probably can't trust
him.
him. Yeah, for sure. They have 2 daughters together. And then in 2005, she filed for divorce, accusing him of alcohol and drug abuse with threats of violence, which sounds like a MO for him. As well as accusations of him looking at gay pornography featuring boys who looked underage and being attracted to underage girls. What? So now we're getting into a weird area. You want to look at gay porn? That's cool for you. Looking at underage gay porn or any underage porn is not okay.
Yeah, there's a line there.
Yeah, don't do that. He denied it, stated the FBI was aware of the allegations and searched his computers. Nothing that I know of ever came of that. Yep. Their divorce was finalized and a custody dispute kept going for their daughters. We're not going to get into the custody dispute. But he did marry his third wife, Brooke Mueller. So, I believe Brooke was also a pretty attractive woman. But they had 2 twin sons born in 2009. 2010, filed for divorce. 2011.
God damn.
Yeah, dude, he's just all over the place. Police removed the couple's sons from his home. And social services took the children after Mueller obtained a restraining order against him. So he sounds like a dangerous guy. The document said, I'm very concerned that he's, meaning Sheen, is currently insane. And asked if he'd fight for the kids. He texted them saying, born ready, winning. So this is the birth of Tiger Blood. Their divorce became final in 2011, which is when everything kind of went crazy. So the pornographic actresses, I should say, living with him were Brie Olson, I'm reading now, who was very fine. don't know what she looks like now, and model and graphic designer Natalie Kenley, whom he collectively nicknamed his goddesses. So
I'm reading that right now.
That's pretty cool. That he had like a whole little harem.
What did you do? Like, what did they do to be considered goddesses, though? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think it's... Well, they didn't stay around too long because the one left in April after 1 month, and the other one left in June.
That's fair, yeah.
So, he then said he was in a relationship with Penthouse Magazine Pet of the Month, Georgia Jones. So, I mean, he's just going from woman to woman to woman. And then he became engaged to...
Stop marrying people at that point. How many failed marriages do you need before you just like, you know what?
Well, he doesn't even get to the marriage part on a lot of these. So he eventually gets engaged to a former adult film star in 2014 called Brett Rossi. Not a man. Brett Rossi is a woman. She was professionally known as Brett Rossi, but her name's Scottine Ross. So he gets with her.
Let me guess, she does porn.
Yeah, she's an adult film star. And they begin going by her real name, Scottine. And they had a wedding planned for November. The engagement was broken off in October as they both decided to separate. And Sheen stated, and quote, "I've decided that my children deserve my focus more than the relationship does right now. I still have a tremendous fondness for Scotty, and I wish her all the best." A month later, it was reported that Rossi was hospitalized for an apparent drug overdose. So, looks like they were also into drugs. 2015, Rossi did sue Sheen after his announcement of being HIV positive. Oof. And for various other allegations such as assault and battery, emotional distress, false imprisonment, and negligence. Another girlfriend sued him in 2017, saying that he concealed his HIV status from her until they had the sex. He had to pay that woman over $120,000. So he had HIV for a while, and he was definitely not telling people, which is a crime as far as I know. Really dangerous. You can't do shit like that. He did get a second daughter. Well, he didn't get it. He had a second daughter who did end up creating an OnlyFans account in 2022. Her name is Sammy. So she initially disapproved of the action, and he changed his mind, citing points made by her mother. So
I feel like that's just like I don't know. I feel like that's just a random...
What goes around, comes around, goes around, comes all the way back around. Yeah. Don't put your kids in that environment, and you don't have to fucking worry about them doing shit like that, showing their bodies. But, or maybe they just need to fucking pay for stuff because inflation's really high. Who knows? It's their bodies. Residences that he had lived in. So he lived in Beverly Hills, but he sold his property in 2020 and resides in Malibu now.
It's funny. Does he do anything now? Like
I'm trying to think if he's done anything.
I don't think I've heard anything from him in a long time.
He's kind of quieted down. I think. HIV and AIDS is something that you can easily cure. I won't say cure, but they're trying to cure it now.
Yeah.
Treat though, you can treat it a lot better than you could back in the day.
Right.
So, he's had a lot of substance abuse issues. Looking at that through the years, 98 he had a stroke after he overdosed while using cocaine and was hospitalized.
You did so much coke that your brain
stroked it too.
Stroked right out. God damn.
He was found by a friend. They rushed him to the hospital in Thousand Oaks, where he's described as being in serious condition, and his stomach got pumped. Days later, checked into rehab, told doctors he didn't intend to stay, left, and then they forced him back. And then he was already on probation in California for a previous drug offense and had his probation extended by a year, entered into a rehab clinic. His overdose was caused by injecting the cocaine inside him. So, yeah, I didn't know you could do that. I guess.
Jesus Christ. And as you look over things on him, I feel like everything that especially even more that I'm reading right now, it seems like cocaine's his drug of choice.
He does love his cocaine.
He loves cocaine. Like Charlie Sheen loves cocaine.
He's just gonna say that right here. Right. In 2009, he did get arrested for assaulting his wife at the time, Brooke, in Aspen. He was released same day after posting bond, but he was charged with menacing as well as third-degree assault and criminal mischief. He pled guilty to misdemeanor assault as part of a plea bargain that included dismissal of other charges against him and sentenced 30 days in a rehab, 30 days of probation, 36 hours of anger management. Which might be why he did that anger management show later. probably
It
knew
could
how to
be it.
go through it.
Yeah.
He got removed in 2010 from the Plaza Hotel after he caused damages up to $7,000. He admitted to drinking and using cocaine the night of the incident. There's that cocaine
There
again.
it is. Coquiana.
He didn't reveal that he was HIV positive till 2015, but apparently he was diagnosed around 2011 when he was having that meltdown. So whether that had anything to do with it, I don't know. But that's a long time to go without telling people. He said in an interview that he referred to the acronym HIV as 3 hard letters to absorb, which makes sense. That'd be hard to take.
Yeah.
He managed his condition with a triple cocktail of antiretroviral drugs and said it was impossible he could have knowingly infected any of his partners. He had paid extortionists since 2011 over $10 million to keep it secret. So he was paying tons of people to keep that secret. But he said he told all his partners. So whether that's true or not, I don't know.
I think that's crazy that you have to pay people to keep your business out of their fucking mouth. Isn't that fucking crazy? Like, they're like, hey, I know this about you, so even though I shouldn't know this about you,
Hooks,
and I don't, and I don't know how, you don't know how I got this information, but if you don't want me to tell people, then it's gonna cost you. It's like, that's fucking crazy.
Extortion, man.
Dude, people are monsters, man.
Well, he had been off his meds for about a week when he did the Dr. Oz show, and that was taped in 2015, receiving alternate treatment in Mexico from a guy named Sam Chachawa, who claimed to have an effective vaccine. After the episode, he started retaking the medicine. I don't know how well that worked. There's a lot of, like, people trying to make alternative treatments. This one, it looks like he went back to what was working. And he had, I mean, his child support ranges from, like, it was $55,000. He did get it down to 10 between his 2 ex-wives. It was announced in 2016 that he was under investigation by the LAPD for stalking and threatening to kill his former fiancée, Scotty Ross. Ross. So
2016, you said?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it looks like he didn't get over that. In 2017, he sued the National Enquirer over a story alleging that in 1986 he raped his 13-year-old co-star, Corey Haim, on the set of Lucas. If you don't know who Corey Haim is, that was an actor who did rise to fame with Silver Bullet, Lucas, License to Drive, Dream a Little Dream, The Lost Boys.
I've never heard of any of that.
Yeah, I had to have heard about The Lost Boys. He was one of the 2 Coreys, him and Corey Feldman. They were treated very poorly on the set of a lot of those 80s movies, the kids were, and he was raped, according to the National Enquirer, by Charlie Sheen. It was settled in 2018, and his mother identified a different actor as her son's rapist on the Dr. Oz show. She said that she never raped her son, calling the claims made up. So there's no proof to say that he did or did not. But based off some of the stuff we've seen of him looking at underage kids, who knows? But as of now,
Hey, man, you're innocent until proven guilty.
That's true. Yep, and I 100% agree with that. So.
Yeah. And he's, like I said, and if he's suing people like that's false, and he's even like, dude, look at FBI's already searching through my shit. You know what I mean? Like, leave me the fuck alone. It's just people. I feel like people are always looking for a cash grab. You know what I mean?
Well, in March 2020, Corey Feldman, the other Corey, repeated the claim that Sheen raped Haim in his documentary called My Truth: The Rape of 2 Coreys. Corroborated it with Feldman's ex-wife Susie Feldman and his Lost Boys co-star Jameson Newlander. So, Sheen, through his publicist, denied that allegation, calling them sick, twisted, and outlandish. So, like I said, whatever happened, no one's really going to ever know at this point. But you're right. It should be, like, innocent until proven guilty.
And at that point, if you're going to keep throwing allegations at somebody without proof and you just keep getting denied, like, I feel like at that point it's just a, hey, look, I'm popular because I'm trying to accuse somebody very famous and very popular, so now I'm going to become relevant and
it's he said at that point, right? Like, Corey Feldman is definitely got a war against Hollywood for some of the shit that's happened, but whether or not it did, I wouldn't put it past Corey Feldman to lie, but I also wouldn't put it past Charlie Sheen to lie. So
that's true.
Who knows?
I mean, because he was on a lot of cocaine.
He was on a lot of shit at the time.
I've never done cocaine, so I can't tell you what your mindset is.
I have no idea, dude.
But
So there's something called the Charlie Sheen effect. Have you ever heard of that?
I have. I don't know anything about it, but I have heard of it.
So his disclosure of his HIV positive diagnosis corresponded with the greatest number of HIV-related Google searches ever recorded. During the 3 weeks following his disclosure, there was 2.75 million more searches than expected that included that term. And over 1.25 million searches were directly relevant to the public health outcomes because they included condoms, HIV symptoms, or HIV testing in the search terms. It corresponded with a 95% increase in over-the-counter HIV testing kits.
Damn.
So it actually came out to be a really good thing that he did come out with it.
Well, yeah, because if you have a bunch of people that idolize him and try to live that life.
Yeah. I mean, studies authors of it dubbed it the Charlie Sheen effect. They noted that he did more for HIV education than most UN events do. He spoke out for HIV prevention, citing studies and motivation, later adding he was humbled to be of service. So if there's one thing we can take from Charlie Sheen's fucking crazy ass life, that's something really good that he did for people, is he got people to get the kits. He's done tons of charity work for breast cancer foundations, the Lee National Denim Day. A friend of his died from breast cancer. He wanted to try to find the cure for it. But then again, I feel like everything's about breast cancer. So everything's not pink anymore, but we're definitely still looking for that cure. He's been honored in many different ways. I think him and Jenna Elfman, it was, in 2008, co-hosted a Scientology-affiliated New York Rescue Workers Detoxification Project charity event. He donated $1 for each ticket sold, not $1 million, from his crazy tour they did to the Red Cross Japanese Earthquake Relief Fund, because if you don't remember, there was a huge earthquake and tsunami at that time there. He took on a Twitter challenge by a grieving mom to help critically ill babies born with a congenital diaphragmatic hernia by supporting CDHRAS, which is the Association of Congenital Diaphragmatic Hernias Research Awareness and Support. And not so much activism, but he is a lifelong fan of the Cincinnati Reds. So he did donate to their community fund too, which supports various charities. So in a way it is. So like you said with his political views, you said he does not like Trump, right?
Yeah.
Because I've heard that in 2015, he said he was a constitutional Republican. And he was talking about running for president the same year Trump did, in 2016.
That would have been nuts. Charlie Sheen for president?
Oh, dude, no. Nope. He spoke fondly of George Bush in 2014. He said he did the best he could do with what he was confronted with, and it is beyond anything I can comprehend. So he seemed to like George Bush, and he's been publicly scathing against Trump, though, like you said. So I heard it says here that he labeled Trump a charlatan and wished death upon him.
That's crazy.
So he really does not like him. He is an advocate of the 9/11 truth movement, though. He appealed to President Obama, to set up a new investigation into the attacks. And he believes there might be some whitewashing and that George Bush's administration may have been responsible for it.
How crazy. That we're going right back into the whole conspiracy thing.
Which, I mean, that's great and all, but like we'll have to do that in another episode. But
yeah.
I don't know how you can like George Bush and then think that he did 9/11.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't make sense to me.
Well, not necessarily him, but his administration.
That's true, yeah. I mean, Dick Cheney was probably calling the shots there, right? His VP. Sheen is staunchly opposed to vaccinations. So, after separating from Denise Richards, he sent a legal notice to his daughter's physician stating his lack of consent to vaccinate them. The dispute over vaccines seemed to have played an important role in the failure of their marriage. Denise Richards said in an interview in 2008, quote, "When I vaccinated Sam, he accused me of poisoning her, and I knew when he said that the marriage wasn't going to work," end quote. Huge difference of opinions with her and him on vaccinations.
See, but that's crazy. That's
an important thing in your children's lives, though,
it
man.
is.
Vaccinations are...
It is.
I'm not going to get into that one. I mean, my sister has a hell of a lot to say on the matter. Yep. So when we bring her on, we'll have to do a vaccination one because that'll be interesting. But in general, vaccinations are a huge talking point, a huge debate point, even today. So him being anti-vax and her being vax, I wonder what his opinion was on COVID. Do you know what that is? I have no fucking idea. Like, I'm just asking. Like,
no, I really don't.
I'm assuming he wasn't big on the COVID vaccine.
I'm sure. I mean, if he wasn't on board for the
if he's not regular vaccines,
like the ones for like the serious, like super serious ones, like polio and shit, then if it was something for COVID, I'm sure he was probably like, it's not even a topic of discussion.
Yeah, and especially for someone with HIV, he probably should have been getting it. But I mean, just saying, like, they're probably more likely to die from it, I would think. But yeah, so there's that with Charlie Sheen. He's played in many different things over the years, and if you, like I said, if you haven't seen that Comedy Central roast, dude, do yourself a favor and watch it. It's pretty fucking funny.
I'll have to now because he burns himself really good too, doesn't he?
I think so. Yeah, dude, he is. I felt like it was a really good roast.
Yeah,
if I remember right. I think it had who was the roast? I'm gonna try and look it up real quick. He had quite a few people that were roasting the hell out of him. I don't know if it was as good as like. Oh, I forgot they roasted fucking Bob Saget.
It's weird how fast though that the whole roasting thing took off. You know what I mean?
Well, roasts used to be big in the 70s.
Did they?
Like, yeah, like they used to have a whole roasting thing. Like, you can watch old roasts with Dean Martin and everything.
No shit.
They would all roast each other like hell.
Really?
And then they brought it back for this, yeah. And and they were roasting people for a while there. It seems like they stopped roasting after 2019 with Alec Baldwin. I don't know if someone got hurt or something, but Alec Baldwin's in his own shit right now, so where he was. Charlie Sheen's was the roast master with Seth MacFarlane.
Oh shit!
And the roasters were Anthony Jeselnik, John Lovitz, Patrice O'Neill, Jeff Ross, Amy Schumer, William Shatner, Steve-O, Mike Tyson, and Kate Walsh. So, do yourself a favor. This was after the Tiger Blood shit, too, in 2011.
Yeah.
September of 2011, they did this one. And it was broadcast 9 days later after it was taped, exactly 1 hour after the premiere of Ashton Kutcher's first episode on 2.5 Men.
That's awesome. What a time frame.
It was so funny. I remember watching it. We were in our first apartment, and I remember like Slash is playing the guitar when he comes out. Like, it was a whole fucking thing. But
that'd be epic. That's an epic way to walk into anywhere.
I think it's on Max if you want to watch it.
I'm probably gonna go and watch that tonight.
Dude, it was pretty good, I remember. But they've done a lot of good roasts. I think they have most of the roasts on it, like Bieber. Like Justin Bieber got roasted once. Like, they have all the roasts, I think. Yeah. So okay. Bruce Willis. Like, now we can't roast him. That'd be fucking mean. The dude wouldn't even he doesn't remember the first roast. He's just gonna hit him with the same jokes, man. Sorry, Bruce. Felt bad. That was in 2018 we did that to him.
All right, Eminem. Why don't you chill out?
Yeah, I know. Fucking Bruce Willis acting like he's... I don't know. But I'm not going to keep attacking Bruce. I like Bruce. Do you have anything else? So does it change your opinion at all on Charlie Sheen? I guess we should start
I mean, Charlie Sheen lived a life that was publicly available for him. You know, I think that dude lived probably...
He's got stories, I bet. Yeah.
Dude. He lived a life. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure there's a lot we don't know.
Right. There's probably a lot that's not like put out in the public. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just think that dude was set out to live his best life. And granted, he probably didn't make the right decisions for a lot of things.
And you know what? And I know that we're really late, really, really late to the party on talking about Charlie Sheen. I mean, this is like shit that happened so long ago that like podcasts in 2011 were probably making bank on this shit.
Yeah.
We're not here to do that. We're just talking about fun shit. Nonetheless, as we're going through all that, a little crazy, yeah. Not anything to today's society, I feel like. Like, yeah, you were kind of crazy and you would have fit right in right now.
Yeah.
If you did that today.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I feel like he's settled down a bit, but...
Well, he's also old.
Yeah, he's older and he's probably not...
Was he almost 60, right? Was he 58 or something like that?
Yeah, he's close to...
That's what I saw.
But, like, even our politics are more rancorous than that. Yeah. Like they're grislier. Like people are, like, you see that shit on like daily now in like Hollywood.
Yeah, that's not like a real shocker to nowadays. Like, I think that's why it's not as big of a shock reading it now. Like, probably back then.
Yeah, if we would have done it back when we were 15 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, what the fuck?
Like TMZ shit. But I guess, yeah, like nowadays it's not like we just had Matthew Perry die. Like, because someone gave him some ketamine and he drowned in his goddamn hot tub.
I just read on that. Apparently people are starting to get arrested now.
Yeah, they're taking down people for that one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we'll see where that ends up. But some drug dealers, apparently the ketamine queen. or something.
Oh fuck.
They're going after. I don't know. She called herself that. I could call myself the ketamine king, and I don't fucking even know what ketamine's like. So, I don't do drugs. Just letting everyone know. But no, like it's crazy how much I read through that. And I'm like, dude, when we were trying to pick a topic, I'm like, Charlie Sheen did some crazy shit back in the day. Like I remember Tiger Blood winning, and
well, that's why I'm glad that like when we were going over like what we were gonna do today's episode on, like I was like that's gonna be cool because like you did hear all the crazy shit, but when you're able to actually take the time, look at like information that's displayed for you, and then talk about it, you know, it's.
One, we're way past now. Like it's not in the moment. You
Yeah.
can actually like look back and actually get an accurate description of how that played out.
Because let me tell you something. After we talked about it, this is the overall. This dude was making lots of money in movies. So I mean, yeah, he worked his ass off in the 80s and 90s for sure to get where he's at. But you know, once like kind of late 90s hit and early 2000s hit, I mean, he really kind of got to lay back, start to enjoying life. He was on top of the world. The dude's banging porn stars left and right trying to marry him, that's pretty crazy, but you know, whatever. But how many porn stars you got under your belt, Charlie? You know,
It's notching there's notches in his.
So I mean,
bedpost,
he probably
bro.
had to get another belt.
Yeah.
So like that's awesome, dude. Like good for you. You know what I mean? Like fucking hail to the king. You know.
I mean, besides all the like the little kid porn.
Yeah.
Like,
Besides all that.
Yeah,
I mean,
we ain't big on that. And I just want that said. Like,
yeah, but that was never proven. You
no,
know what
it
I
wasn't.
mean?
Well,
So-
the little kid porn stuff was. His wife saw that.
right.
As for the stuff he actually did, like that's.
Yeah, the accusations and shit. Yeah.
And honestly, like, is it really proven? I haven't seen proof. Like his wife's just saying that, so maybe who knows? But yeah, you're right.
Sounds
he did,
like a salty ex-wife. It was
sounds like
just
Hollywood is what that sounds
Yeah,
like.
it's
I ain't
exactly
saying
it.
it like that, but
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The dude, like,
dude, just Denise Richards, just
right.
being with her.
Look
like,
at the list, bro. Like, and he just like, oh, he's off his walker. Like that dude can be off his walker. He did cocaine and banged porn stars. Like,
all the time. He was
but
probably
like,
doing
what
it constantly.
did you think when you have a person like that? Like, what do you think's going to happen? Especially if no one's controlling him. Like, hey, Charlie, you know, chill out for a second.
Which is weird because I don't know how bad his brother was in the '80s or whatever, Emilio.
Emilio.
But you don't have to do it every time. But nonetheless, I feel like Emilio's hasn't been in the news in a long time. Like he doesn't even do movies. Like I haven't seen him in a movie since Mighty Ducks. Like
Oh.
he just disappeared off face of the earth. He's one of those actors. Like where are they now? Mm-hmm. But his dad's still going. Like I just feel like was there something in their childhood that just fucked him up? Because
Yeah, no, and
There
that
has
was
to be
weird. There
something.
really wasn't anything from his childhood in any of that history that we're looking up.
no, I mean it's just one of those like his dad was an actor.
Yeah,
I'm sure his dad
he was a child
not
actor.
the smartest at keeping things away from his kids.
Yeah.
I'm sure like they saw things they probably shouldn't have seen. Nothing against you, Martin. I love you, Jed Bartlett, 24. But he's got like his dad still acts like his dad is probably the most famous out of all of them. If you've ever seen Apocalypse Now, his dad's in that one, and he's fantastic.
I was actually trying to quick look while you were going over some facts.
All about Martin.
Yeah, I was like, who the hell is Martin Sheen? Because I've heard of Martin Sheen. I have.
Yeah, he's in that. He's the president in West Wing, which is where I've seen that series so many times that if you haven't seen a political series and you want something that's so unrealistic in the fact that it's so happy, watch The West Wing. You'll feel better about government. It's all a lie. You're not gonna be. It's not actually real. It's not that nice, but it feels good. They have some cool speeches and stuff. But yeah, Martin Sheen is he's been in other things too. Like I'm sure you've probably
Looks like he starred in a lot of like he starred in 2.5 Men. He starred in.
Oh yeah,
Sin
he's
City.
probably guessed. So it's not like him and his son have a bad
Yeah,
rapport. Like,
not at all.
and it makes me wonder. It just makes me wonder what's going on with all that because Charlie and Martin feel so different. But I do know Martin was an alcoholic too.
Oh, he plays Uncle Ben.
Yes, in the one with Andrew Garfield, that's
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I was trying to figure out because I've seen it. I saw his face. I was like, "Damn, what movie have I seen him in?" Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. So with Sally Field was the Aunt May.
But yeah, like I said, saying like as my overall opinion on Charlie Sheen, I think he was just a Hollywood guy who lived in a Hollywood kind of life to the extreme, and I don't know. I think, like you said, to that point is that maybe if it was 15 years ago we were reading it, we'd be like, what? But right now I'm just like, yeah, sounds like Hollywood.
Makes sense, yeah. The more we know.
System
Older
of a
we
Down.
get, the less we see it.
System of a Down talks about that shit all the time.
Do they?
Yeah.
How so?
Just a lot of their songs are based around all the
yeah.
corrupt stuff and the drugs and all that shit that goes on in Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
that's just a Hollywood life.
Yeah. City of Angels because everyone's dying of ODs. Maybe not. But for everyone on the West Coast who now just turned off their goddamn Spotify or whatever we're on, I'm sorry. But no, it's definitely not as crazy as it was before. But with that, we'll probably wrap it up there with Charlie. Do you have anything else? Any different take on him? Do you think he's ever going to come back? Anything big again?
I don't think he needs to. I mean,
for sure.
I think I would have a lot of anger towards. I feel like the 2.5 Men thing was a real kick in the balls because
for him or for Chuck Lorre?
For him.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I mean, you got to think though, like that TV series had to have been like some kind of, because if you go over the stuff that he was in, like for a chunk of years prior to that, like there really wasn't anything that like even I would remember. You know what I mean? Or
yeah, I mean,
seeing. So I feel like when you finally get into you finally start doing something successful again. You know what I mean? And you're like, yes, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam.
Well,
see ya.
I mean, he asked for a raise after being the top in his field. So he asked for a bigger raise by half. So what was it, 1.5? So now you're asking for like 2.8 million per episode?
Right.
Like, even if they can do that.
But negotiate. You know what I mean? Like
you can negotiate, but you're also appeasing in a sense. Like, you're right. He didn't have anything big in Maine like that. They thought they could do it without him. They did to an extent. But at the same time, that's a risk you take. It's like going into your office and asking your boss, like, hey, I want a 50% raise. You going to do it? No, I'm not going to do it. Well, fuck you then.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of how he took it. Like, well, I deserve it. And then when they didn't do it, like, they got rid of him instead because he probably told them, I'm not going to fucking stay if you don't.
And then the TV series falls to shit.
It does. But look at Chuck Lorre. He's like, oh, that one falls shit? Let me just pull another one out of my ass. Oh, here's
shit.
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. Hell yeah. And that's a good one, too. I love that one.
Yeah, he just does his own thing. So, I mean, in the end, they both kind of won because of that whole issue. That kind of set Charlie off on, like, 2011, the year of the Tiger Blood.
Yeah.
Which, I'm just going to say it now. If we don't name it that, it's a mistake. We need to call it Tiger Blood or something. Like, you know what I mean? But no, that's all I got for the day. Do you have any closing statements?
Oh, that's it. I appreciate you dishing out those facts.
Yeah. If anyone has HIV or AIDS out there, make sure you tell your partners. Don't be Charlie Sheen about it. Get that shit out there so that we can get everybody protected, including yourself, because it's illegal as fuck. All right, that's all I got.
All right, I'm Badge.
I'm Wolf. Out.